I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your Smackdown review for July 12th, 2013. Only 2 days away from Money in the Bank, and I probably need to do my Money in the Bank predictions video. And I'll be watching this over at Mocha Bane's house. Or wait, I'll be watching it at his friend's house. Not really sure. I'm going to find out because I am most definitely not going to miss this pay-per-view, believe me. Now, the very first match we got here is Daniel Bryan versus Christian. You get the submission expert versus the ladder expert. Got this whole Money in the Bank match that they're going to be coming up right there at the pay-per-view. Christian comes out and he doesn't have the Michael McGillicuddy thing at the front of his video or whatever. He actually comes out with no technical difficulties whatsoever. They have a pretty good match, and let me tell you something. You were probably expecting a very great match out of these two people, because I know when I saw them come out, I was like, boy, Christian and Daniel Bryan one-on-one, this match is going to be great. That's probably what you were thinking. And you were right. It was very, very entertaining. Now, you got this whole thing that Christian's been saying, right? The one more match. And I've been confused about it the whole time. But it was finally explained to me. Over there in Germany, Alex, he explained it to me on Facebook and was like, look, this is something he's been saying for a long time. And I was like, really? He sent me a video. It was the one more match compilation from 2011, 2012. And I was like, how did I miss that? I noticed it every time he said it this in 2013, but I don't ever remember him saying that before. I guess I just completely forgot or never even noticed or put it into my brain as something to remember. But anyways, in this match, we see Christian going for his spear. And I'm like, it really got me thinking. You know, Christian is using this spear as kind of like an homage to Edge, right? The same way that he, in the past, did the 5-star frog splash, right? Now I'll get to that in a second. But Christian's spear is just not believable, man. I don't know why. I mean, Goldberg undoubtedly had a great spear. The man was huge. And Edge, somehow, I guess out of his intensity and the way he did his face and everything, he made his spear believable. And I guess some of the high spots and big moments that he used and utilized it in, you know, made it believable in the moment and everything. So, that worked. And of course, the gore, you know, you had Rhino doing it. It was freaking unbelievable the way he did it. He was just so massive, you know, for such a small guy. But when people are just using this move like Christian, and it just doesn't look that great. And you know, it's weird because a lot of people are using the spear nowadays, and it's kind of bothersome. They're using it almost to a degree like it's just a regular old move like the DDT, because even Caitlyn does this move. It used to be like a special finishing maneuver, and it's becoming just a regular old move. And that's kind of a little bit disturbing, but you know, at the same time, the DDT was also a devastating finishing maneuver that only like one person did. And now everybody uses it in every single match. So, looks like the spear is going down the ladder. But maybe one of these guys in this match will go up the ladder at Money in the Bank. We don't know. But anyways, a no-lock ends this match. Daniel Bryan wins, and it was a good match. Christian really tried to fight out of it, but he couldn't. And oh yes, that 5-star frog splash. I almost forgot to talk about it. I noticed when Christian come back, he did not do this move, not even one time. And I was like, why is he not doing this? It was always great to see him go up there and attempt this move, and I'm just like, dude, that's a 1.5-star frog splash. Because I know it's not on a grading scale. But when you compare it to the man that he's trying to do his homage to, you got Eddie Guerrero, and then people like Rob Van Dam, it just don't compare. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Obviously, he's not doing this move anymore because Rob Van Dam's coming back, and that's his move. But then I thought, but the spear, he does a spear, and Caitlyn does a spear, and everybody does a spear. So I guess the 5-star frog splash will remain as a big-time move and not just a common move like all that other stuff. So moving on. Teddy Long and Dolph Ziggler, they're hanging out backstage, and Dolph Ziggler gets a night off, but Dolph don't want the night off, and he's just like, well, I'm going to win that World Heavyweight title at Money in the Bank. Now I got Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso, and I had said in the past that you know, like Seth Rollins and not Roman Reigns, but the other guy, Dean Ambrose. They look small, you know, they wear those suits. I thought they were wearing the suits because they didn't have the muscles. And then I heard Carlito say that they need to hit the gym. But then Mitchell from Israel corrected me by sending me a photo, a pretty recent photo of them with their shirts off. And I said, whoa, man, those guys are buff. Those guys would totally beat me in any kind of lifting competition imaginable, you know. So I don't know why they got those suits on, but I guess it makes them look different, and I'm all about that. I don't want a bunch of generic guys trying to act like that they're somebodies. But anyways, Seth Rollins wins, so good for him. Chris Jericho versus Curtis Axel. Again, Paul Heyman, he's got the glasses off, but still got a black eye. One thing I liked about Curtis Axel during this match, he like held up Jericho through the ropes and was like, say hello to Jericho. And that made me laugh. But Chris Jericho wins. He wins with the countout. So 2 wins over Curtis Axel, the man who had an undefeated streak. He beat Triple H like 5 times, and now Chris Jericho's beat him twice and won by countout. So I'm just like thinking, so Curtis Axel is supposed to be tough and intimidating, or maybe he's not. I don't know. I just don't really get his thing. I just don't get it. I just don't get Curtis Axel. I mean, I get him and what he's supposed to be, but I just don't get the way they're pushing him as a bad guy. It escapes me. Maybe it'll be all unveiled later, something, I don't know, whatever. But Curtis Axel's very upset because he couldn't get his butt back in the ring in time. He had plenty of time, come on. And Paul Heyman could have helped, but he didn't. Ooh. Does that mean something? But Paul Heyman coddles him and is like, it's all okay, we'll make it someday. Alright, and Cole mentions the Wyatt family, and they're shaking up the WWE or whatever. What is this word that I used? Is this? I don't know. You're talking about, oh, he shook it to the core. I almost missed my big line there. And I was like, but he wasn't in the core. He was in the Nexus. And he was just more rotund at the time, you know. But anyways, you got Ryback versus The Miz again. And The Miz does a foot DDT. Look, I know that I miss things and stuff, but okay, I know people have been doing foot DDTs for the past couple of years, but before that, did anyone ever do that move? Is that a new move? Or is it just some crap that somebody's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we took somebody's foot and put it in a DDT position and just fell backwards? Oh man, that's like the most devastating, scary move of all time that's totally going to screw you up and make you lose the match. I just think it's a stupid move. Just my personal opinion. But I guess I was wrong because it's messed up Ryback where he's like, oh, I can't go on anymore. But he ends up, you know, as he's like pretending he's hurt, he like knocks the crap out of The Miz at the clothesline, does a shell shock, and Ryback wins. So there you go. Sheamus backstage, he says he's going to win the Money in the Bank. He's going to use that briefcase to put pints in, and he's going to buy everybody around pints, and plays on the stereotype of Irish people drinking a lot. Well, good for you, Sheamus. Alright, so the Divas are having a contract signing, and I'm like, whoa, what? A contract signing with the Divas? Now, I'm not a big fan of contract signings, but they've been doing some interesting stuff with AJ and Caitlyn, so who knows. So, they're talking about, you know, they're going to sign and everything. AJ signs, AJ starts reading, like, text messages and exposes, like, all the things that she said behind the other Divas' back, like what Caitlyn has said. All the other Divas, by the way, just happened to be in the ring. They were invited for who knows what reason other than to do that, right? So, they read that. Caitlyn gets mad, and AJ had a great line where she's like, alright, Big E, you're good at technology and pointing, so since AJ has just taken my phone and taken it away from me because I'm reading these texts, do it on the Titantron. So she had this all pre-planned out, and she did that. She shows it on the Tron and everything. And Caitlyn, she just starts yelling or going off on AJ or whatever, and AJ, man, she slaps the crap out of her. And then the greatest part is that Caitlyn grabs the table and shoves AJ and her chair into the corner and starts beating the crap out of her. All hell breaks loose, and that's the end of that, and Caitlyn leaves. Now, that sounds exciting, right? but there was a big chunk of this that was just like dead. It was just dead, but it picked up, as you can see. It sounds much better on paper and on words than it actually was, but that ending part was pretty cool. Alright, Fandango with the roll-up beats Wade Barrett for whatever reason. Zeb Coulter was on commentary, Antonio Cesaro and all them guys, and Rhodes Scholars come down and they all argue and then whatever. Yeah, okay. Anyways, we got Del Rio versus Sin Cara. There's no mood lighting or anything. Sin Cara just comes running down and Sin Cara just goes ballistic. Sin Cara is just beating the crap out of Del Rio, and then he hits a zigzag, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like, wait a minute, Sin Cara is unnaturally bright today, you know, and it apparently was Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph Ziggler, dressed as Sin Cara, beat the crap out of Del Rio in a very funny segment. And I liked that, and they were talking about, oh, he's showing off and everything, and I was like, huh. That's pretty cool. Completely proves that Sin Cara is nothing but a joke and will be used as a joke. But, I mean, we already knew that, so why not? I mean, so that was good stuff. Then Vicky Guerrero comes out. She's like, I was fired, but I got a ticket, now I've jumped the guardrail. No one shows me any respect. Teddy Long said, oh, I got one word for you. Security. And the security comes down, which I'm sure they were local wrestlers or whatever, and then they escort her back through the crowd or something. Okay. So, Teddy Long meets with Sin Cara backstage and was kind of questioning him, but he can't speak any language or anything. Oh, my wife is calling me. It called me. Brian back. Now, Teddy Long and Sin Cara. Sin Cara can't speak English or anything, so Dolph Ziggler just happens to pop up and he's like, oh, well, I forgot my phone and now I am leaving and I'll be gone. And I was like, that was good stuff. Poor old Sin Cara, he was literally speechless. Alright, now we got the main event of Sheamus and Randy Orton. And I know that you're super excited about that. And, you know, they have a pretty good match and everything. But later in the match, Daniel Bryan comes down and he grabs a ladder and sets it up. Well, actually, first he hits everybody with it, which causes a disqualification. Bryan climbs a ladder and he's going to get that Money in the Bank briefcase down. Even though he already got the Money in the briefcase down on Raw, he wants to get it again because I guess the first one wasn't good enough or something. Or maybe he's just trying to prove a point. Because he's won, like, Raw and Smackdown, right? He's got the Money in the Bank on Raw, and now he wants to get the other Money in the Bank. You know, I mean, why not just win everything and grab everything? But whatever, so he doesn't get it. Because Sheamus goes up there and grabs it, but then Christian comes up there and tries to grab it, and then Randy starts looking up at the top of the ladder. He's giving it that look like, I could RKO this ladder. But he doesn't do that. He goes up there and retrieves the Money in the Bank briefcase, which made me, like, just a little physically ill. And I'm not really sure why, but I just was like, you know, but, yeah, so Randy's holding the belt. Smackdown goes off the air. Who's going to win these Money in the Banks? Who's going to win these matches? I mean, you're going to have Rob Van Dam and CM Punk also win that match, and got all these other matches. It is a big mystery. Anyways, yeah, that was SmackDown. I pretty well enjoyed it because I think the excitement level is culminating, you know, for Money in the Bank. So I will see you guys there.